We are facing a level of public ignorance, negativity, fear, scare, and lies relating to agriculture that must be overcome. It will not be overcome in a week, a month, or a year. I think it can be overcome in 10 years, but only if I can recruit everybody in this room to become an army of educators. I'm going to explain to you how, what your responsibility is, and information that you need to teach to win back the hearts and minds of the public. Raise your hand right now in this room if you are not from Iowa. Okay, looks like 15 or 20% of you. So the vast majority are in Iowa. Let me tell you something about Iowa to make the problem local. In the 50 states I travel over a 3-year period, in the dozen countries I travel to where people speak English. If I were to ask a word association question of anybody I talk to, and I say, what is the first word you think of when I say the word Iowa? 100% of them will give me one of two answers: corn or farming. Everybody in the country and most people in the world know that Iowa is the #1 farm state. Within Iowa, you're #1 in soy and corn and eggs and hogs. You're the #1 state in the union. 85% of the land in Iowa is farmed. 10% of the best farmland in the world is considered to be in Iowa. 25% of the economic income of the state of Iowa comes from farming. 1 in 6 jobs is related to agriculture. And yet you would be amazed, or maybe you know, of the ignorance that exists in this state among its non-farming population about the importance of agriculture, the contribution of agriculture, because the non-farming community in the state does not learn anything about farming from you. I'll bet there aren't 20 people in this audience that spend any significant amount of time in a month talking about their farms to non-farmers. Number one, they assume people aren't interested. Number two, if they live in a rural community, they assume that everybody in a rural community knows about farming. Okay. Number one, they live in a rural community, go to your drugstore and ask your druggist, an educated fellow or girl or woman, what fertilizer is, and you're likely to get a blank stare. Or they may say something like, oh, toxic byproducts of manufacturing used to make grains grow better. We got that answer more than any in surveys in Washington and Chicago on the streets of affluent neighborhoods during lunch hour. People do not understand farming because all they know about it is what they read in the newspaper, magazines, radio, and TV, and you read and hear and see those things, and how much of what you read, see, and hear about agriculture from the media is accurate.